Hello and welcome everybody. I am joined here by Tay Jun Hao from Grey Ogre Games, sitting currently at 9-1. Unfortunately, you were the last undefeated player, but the last round didn't go so well. But it looks like your draft ended up pretty strong. How do you think the draft went?
I think it started off a bit slow for me, and then it got better towards, especially the second and the third pack. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's hop straight into the draft here and see what we're working with. So pack one here, taking a look. I'm looking at Watch from the Mist and Status Statue. What were you thinking here?
Yes, those were the two picks that I was thinking about, and yeah, I think I like this card a lot, the statue. Yeah, and it's a removal, but it commits you to two colors. But I think even if I end up in black or green, I still could play it as a +1 palm spell. Yeah.
Right, and the thing is, you can still splash it. Watch from the Mist keeps you in one color, but this is powerful enough that you chose to go with it. All right, moving on to the second pack here, we got. Pretty powerful pack here. What were you thinking here?
Yeah, I was thinking of switching color actually, like looking at a Sun House Steward, another Watcher, and then there's the Cavalier, and of course the Direct Current.
So a lot of options.
Yeah, lots of options. And so I think since I already take the statue, and I want to try to be in a color where I could play my first pick. And then I was looking at the Conclave Cavalier, like I could just go Celestia and take a few Guild Gates and splash for the statue, and that's what I...
Yeah, and if you just go on straight power level, I also think this is probably the most powerful card between. All right, moving on to our third pick here. What do we have here? This was a little bit weaker of a pack.
Yeah, and it's probably like the Siege Worms, the Strays, and the Petro if I want to go the Celestia strategy. And I think, having a flyer will be good to, sometimes you just jam up the ground, and in a Celestia strategy, you want some evasion stuff.
Right.
And I think I went for the Petro this pack,
Okay, yeah, and you have a lot of cheap creatures, so if you can go like Healer's Hawk, play a part Healing Patrol, mentor onto that, that can do a lot of work. All right, so first three picks here, we have one card that made your deck. So this tells us that you actually did not end up playing Celestia.
Yes, I wanted to. I mean, my picks were like pushing me into Celestia, and thought, it's not too bad, I think.
Right.
I have a good gold card, that's Conclave Cavalier, to go into Celestia,
Yeah, but this is just a good example of staying open, identifying the open guild, and then moving in.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on, we're going to go through picks 4 through 6, and you end up with a Haas the Marshal, so you were still trying to look to be Celestia. Maybe it was a weak pack.
Yeah, it was a weak pack, and I feel like I needed 1-drops for my Convoke guys. So I wasn't happy with that pick, but I think I just took it in case.
Sure, and moving on, and then things actually started getting powerful. You had a Hatchery Spider and a District Guide. So once you see what is this, like a 6-pick District Guide, you have to think green's pretty open at that point, right?
Yeah, I was very happy with the District Guide. I mean, the Spider was okay, it wasn't that powerful, but and the guy, and then it was the Golgari Findbroker that...
Yeah, and this is an 8th pick Golgari Findbroker. At that point, these are kind of the benchmarks of the format. Whenever you see Conclave Cavalier, Golgari Findbroker, whenever you see those, you're like, this is the guild I need to be in, right? So so not a lot of playables, but it's nice knowing that you can get that Golgari Findbroker, and then you can go, okay, Golgari's open, I'm gonna move in. All right, so let's go through picks 9 through the end of pack 1, and you get a lot of actually decent filler here. You get a Child of Night, a Spinal Centipede, and a Crawl Forager. So at the end of pack 1, how are you feeling?
Actually, I thought I was gonna still be in green-white. I was like, looking through the cards, like, okay, green-white, and then I realized, hey, I could actually go black-green as well. So I just decided to see what am I gonna open in the second pack, and before deciding which Celestia or Golgari,
So still keeping yourself pretty flexible here because you still had a World Soul Colossus and of course a bunch of other powerful white cards. All right, let's head into pack 2, and picks 1 through 3 we have Golgari Findbroker, which is awesome. I mean, if you ever start looping these, people are just get super frustrated. And then Artful Takedown. Talk a little bit about that pack.
There wasn't much in that pack. It was like the Generous Strays and things like that. So very weak cards. And I figured that with the District Guide, I could pick up like a blue Guild Gate, like a Demir Guild Gate, and splash for the takedown. And I only have like 1 remover so far in my deck, so I thought maybe I would play the Artful Takedown.
So it makes a lot of sense. And then follow that up with a Might of the Masses, which is just a very good combat trick in the format. All right, moving on to picks 4 to 6 here. We have Night Veil Predator. That one seems a little ambitious.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. Like, if there was a good Golgari card, I would have taken it. But it's just like, the 2-1s and the 1-2s in the 3 drops, and so I thought maybe, who knows? And I've seen a few like Demir Guild Gates running.
Right.
Yeah, so...
Well, and that's the thing too. Like, I feel like you know, the 2-drops, you can usually table them, so you don't really have to take them 3rd pick. It feels really bad to do that. So the upside of this is super high, although, again, blue, a little bit difficult, especially if you're trying to find the Fine Broker.
And to be honest, I don't really want to be playing against that card in this color. Like,
sure. Yeah. Not a lot of actual giant reach creatures outside of this Hatchery Spider. All right, and then you have a higher Poisoner and Swarm Guildmage, which kind of rounds out the deck. Moving on to picks 7 through 9 here. Got some mana fixing here, Golgari Guildgate, another higher Poisoner, and Rhizome Lurcher. So pack 2 looks like it's going pretty well for you.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. You got the Fine Broker, you got the Rhizome Lurcher. I mean, these are the payoff cards that you want. And it's also really important. I think people, it took a little bit of time, but people eventually figured out how to draft Golgari. And it's really important to take those cheap creatures that you want to trade with. So higher Poisoner doing a lot of work. Moving on here, picks 10 through 14. What do we have here? We have a Burglar Rat. You got that Dimir Guildgate, and then Severed Strands. So ultimately, why did you choose not to put the Artful Takedown in your deck?
I think, like in a top pack, like I think I got more removals, and then I opened the retro suit, and then I felt that, you know, I have tons of like four drops, and I felt that, you know, it's gonna be like, it's gonna clog up my mana, and I felt that I didn't need it. And that's where but it's in my sideboard against lower decks. I might bring it in. Sure.
All right, so speaking of Ritual of Soot, I imagine that's gonna be in pack 3 here. Taking a look, boom. Ritual of Soot, Luminous Bonds, another splashable removal spell, and Deadweight. So really nice start to pack 3. Yeah, I mean, talk about Ritual of Soot a little bit. I mean, you're playing a deck that has a lot of cheap creatures, but is it still just that powerful that you just want it no matter what?
I think like you could like just clog out the board and force him to commit to the board, and then you could go Ritual, and then you got a Lurcher, and if you think there's things that you want to take back, I have 2 Fine Brokers, so it kind of work well. And like I don't have a lot of 2-drops, so it kind of helped me fill up the graveyard for the Lurcher or like the Spider.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Even if you break even on Ritual of Soot, your follow-up are the Undergrowth cards. So your follow-up cards are so much more powerful than any other decks. So that makes a lot of sense. Moving on to picks 4 through 6, we have Crawl Swarm, a 5th pick Bounty of Might. That's pretty absurd. I mean, this is a fantastic rare. I know a lot of people don't want to be green for some reason, but when you get cards like Bounty of Might and Golgari Fine Broker Super Late, you have to be super thrilled.
I'm pretty happy with that.
Have you been able to win with this one yet?
No, I have actually got to cast it. Like, it was close the last game, you know. I had it in my hand.
Yeah. That last game, your opponent was at 8, and I was just like, if he doesn't draw a creature, I think you might just get him with that Burglar Rat.
But all right, maybe the next game.
But you still got good mana fixing with that Crawl Swarm. Rounding out this pack from 7 through 9, we have another Death Touch creature and Pitiless Gorgon. And then 7th pick Charnochore and 8th pick Status Statue?
I kind of tabled the statue. I think it was the 9th pick. It was in a pack with the Ritual. And I was like, okay, I'll just take this then. And then when I saw it, it's like, all right.
I guess nobody's Golgari. Not only that, I mean, Status Statue is the type of card that you table, right? That you splash, right? So it's got to be really surprising when you get this 9th pick. I mean, that's when you know if there's a Golgari card in the draft, you're going to get all of it. All right, so that is an awesome gift. And finishing out the deck, did anything else end up in your deck?
No.
Looks like nothing else. I mean, this deck already looks extremely powerful. This is the final form. Let's take a look. I mean, how did you feel about your draft after this?
I think it's pretty good. Like, it's decent. It's at least I hope I can get a 2-1 for this. You know, it was pretty close the last game. And I'm not too happy with the throw, actually, because I don't have a lot of 2-drops to channel. Throw.
This is kind of it's kind of up here. You play a Ritual of Soot, then you play it after. It's kind of awkward because it's also anti-synergy, which are Fine Brokers.
So it's kind of like a 4 or 5 kind of card.
But even then, at the end of the day, if it's still the last creature you play, it's still incredibly powerful. All right, well, thank you very much for joining us, Tay Jun. Your deck looks very, very powerful. We're going to be having more coverage of Pro Tour Guilds of Ravnica right after this.